Hey y'all, so it is December 24th, so Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Blessed Yule, and just in general Happy Holidays for all of y'all. Uh, yeah, as you can see, it's this is winter in Texas, not an ounce of snow on the ground. It is actually almost 70 degrees today. It feels really great. I'm out here in t-shirt and shorts. I know most of the country is cold, having either a white or brown Christmas in the low temperatures, so sorry guys. So here's the monthly garden walkthrough. These are actually my pepper plants that I'm overwintering. Since it's nice out, when the temperature is the lows in the 40s, not getting down into the 30s, and the highs are pretty nice like today, I'm bringing the pepper plants outside to keep them acclimated to the sun so that I don't have to reacclimate them in the spring. These are the ones that I grew last year. Some of them, like this bell pepper here, actually I grew 2 years ago. So this plant is on its third year. Pepper plants don't have to be annual. They can be perennial if you take care of them and overwinter them properly. They can just keep on growing and keep producing. Now this time of year, what I actually did was like this one here. This is one of the most recent ones. I cut almost everything off and then pot them down in smaller pots. Most of these are about 2.5 gallons. This one's not even a gallon. This is probably about 3 quarts. But they're doing pretty well because if you cut most of the leaves off, the less leaves and branches they have, the less roots they need to support that, so they can be down potted pretty easily. I'm actually going to keep these pruned down. I'm going to cut some of this new growth back down, back off, to try to make sure they do pretty well in the small pots. Most of these plants get about 3 to 4 feet at full size, so I'm trying to keep them pruned down. This one, this is the dragon. This is the hybrid between the cayenne and the Thai chili. And as you can see, this sucker is flowering like crazy. I try to keep the flowers off of them when I overwinter them, because when they produce flowers and fruit, they take more energy, and I don't want that. I want them to store up the energy so they'll be good to go in the spring and I can get a good early harvest. But yeah, this one, there's no stopping that. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. Keep it pruned down small. Let it produce some peppers, because these are small peppers that don't take up a lot of energy, unlike the bigger poblanos, bells, and that kind of stuff. These little guys don't take as much energy. So I'm going to let it produce some, keep it pruned nice and small, keep it well fed, and I'm going to get some hot chili peppers in the middle of winter. And anybody can do that, really. You can just put them in an inside grow area, good light. You can get like I've actually got 3,200 lumens and one 4,000 lumen lamps. You get those from Walmart for less than 20 bucks. I think you can actually get a 5,000 lumen work lamp from Walmart for like $22. So get you a couple of those. That's really good to grow these over the winter. These are my radishes. About to start picking these. They're doing pretty well. They're bulbing up. So they're ready to come out of the ground and get eaten. These are my chives. Not doing too well, but they're well enough. This one I'm not really doing much to. I'm letting it grow as much as possible, keeping it fed, because this is going to go into the garden bed. I'm actually going to plant that up in the spring and let it grow in the raised bed that I'm building. These are some spinach that I grew from seed. As you can see, there's no plants left in the aquaponics filter. They all died off because it got cold. Goldfish don't care. As long as the water doesn't freeze, they're fine. The top layer of water can even freeze. As long as they can swim around underneath, they're fine. They just go down to the bottom. Now, so here's some of the rest of the winter garden. This is my butter crunch lettuce. This stuff is doing absolutely amazing. It's partial sun. It gets about 5 to 6 hours a day, and it's doing really well. And I'm just doing this as kind of a cut and come again. I just cut a few leaves off and have a little salad whenever I feel like it. Broccoli over here, parsley and rosemary. This flat leaf parsley, I really don't like it that well. I don't like the taste and the texture. So what I'm going to do this spring is I'm just going to harvest all of this and dry it. and crush it up and use it as a dried herb additive when cooking. Because a biennial is supposed to grow 1 year, flower the second year, then die. Yeah, this guy didn't get the memo. This is going on its 3rd year of curl parsley, and I really like curl parsley. I actually like the texture and taste of this a lot better. So I'm going to keep growing curled parsley. Like I said, this is 3 years old, so we'll see what happens. It flowered this past year, and it's still going strong. Everybody keeps talking about the recalls on romaine lettuce for salmonella, so I'm growing my own romaine lettuce. It's still got a ways to go, but it'll get there. More spinach. More spinach. Yeah, I like spinach. Garlic. I am growing garlic. This is, I believe it's called aso rojo. Hope I've got that right. But it is a type of Creole red garlic, which does really well here in the South, where there's shorter daylight and a lot more heat over the winter. It's very mild winters down here, Texas, Louisiana, Florida. So these do much better here than the more traditional white bulb garlic. Here's some more of broccoli, and I just noticed something. My first head of broccoli for the season. Here it is, December 24th, Christmas Eve, and I've got broccoli florets forming already. Yes, broccoli is a cold weather plant that in more mild climates, like here in the South, you can grow over the winter. Here's another one. This one hasn't started yet. That's the first one over there starting to form, and I just now noticed it while filming. This is, which one? This is an artwork broccoli. This is the type that produces a whole bunch of small florets, lots and lots of smaller florets, which are great for stir fries. They don't make the big heads like you find in the grocery stores. This is a stir fry type of broccoli, which I like stir fries, so that's why I'm growing it. Here's the greenhouse. I have to keep the sides open because with the sun and the mild temperatures, it can get pretty hot in here pretty fast. I've found it with days where it's up in the 80s, even up to 90s, so I got to keep this ventilated. Right now, they're pretty much just staying open to allow ventilation because at night even doesn't get that bad. I got strawberry plants. They're going to go in the ground or in the raised beds. Marjoram, which is a type of herb. I actually harvested and dried some to make chicken paprikas, my dad's favorite for his birthday. So that's really good. It smells so good. The lemon balm is really getting back up there. It's growing really well since it died off of that first freeze. Here's my oregano. Looks like it needs to be fertilized. Getting kind of yellow in here, so I'm going to have to start fertilizing some stuff with some nitrogen. Same with the peppermint. The peppermint's kind of dying back, but again, that's normal. Mint dies back when it gets down to freezing, and then grows new shoots down in the bottom and just keeps regrowing every year. This guy I thought was dead. I mean, you look at it, it looks dead. But it's actually not. It's still alive down here. I was shocked. I went to pull it up, and it would not pull up. All the rest of the peppers, they all died during that first freeze when the temperature dropped down to about 25 degrees. But this somehow survived. So it's still alive down here. I've mulched it up, and hopefully it'll actually grow back. This is my 2-year-old poblano. I might get that coming back. And here are the new beds. These are my new raised beds for the garden. I'm planning on putting some more in these two sections. This will be 2 6-footers here, which will be for peppers. This is an 8-footer divided in half. Currently got green onions and some more strawberries sitting on it to get some extra light, because the ground here, this area gets basically 0 light this time of year, 0 sunlight. It's all in the shade. There is no sunlight at all hitting this grassy area. So the best way to get them some sunlight is to put them up on the raised garden. And as you can see, they're getting a good amount of sunlight, although it's here in the afternoon now. That's our green onions. I actually bought these from the store because I needed some green onions. I didn't have any. Used some of them, and I was like, okay, well, what do I do with the leftovers? Oh, I'll plant them. They're growing great. They're getting big and healthy, and occasionally I just snip off a leaf or two and have onion leaves on salad or whatever else I'm cooking. Or if I really need to use a whole green onion, I can just pull one out and use it whenever I want. So these are the garden beds. So this is a pair of 8-footers that are split in half. There's a divider in the middle. So it's going to be tomatillos, melons. They're going to be trellised up. There's the trellis. I'll move it. And this big one here, this divider, and then that 3x3 there, this is all going to be for tomatoes. Not a lot of them. I'm only growing a couple plants because I want to have the plants buried deep, which is why it's a 20-foot bed. I want them buried really deep so they can get a lot of good root structure, go down there and be able to pull up water. Chopped up the clay dirt underneath it and dug in some branches and compost and dead leaves down into the soil below the bed to help break up that heavy clay and get it even deeper so the roots can grow deeper to get the water level, because it gets really, really dry here in the summer. I can't really show you the soil itself because it's mulched up and you kind of have to. So it's way down here, and it's going to keep sinking down over the winter because there's a lot of dead leaves and compost down there, which is going to keep sinking down as it breaks down. So in the spring it'll be a good soil. I'll turn it up, mix it together, add some more azomite and some more nutrients in there, and hopefully get some good tomatoes this year. Strawberries are out in the front yard, so I'm not really going to go out there right now, but this is the current project. And if you're wondering what the pipes and stuff are for, this is actually the same thing I did last year. As I've got these up here, I'm going to hang deer netting from them for squirrel and bird barrier and feral cats. We've had feral cats that have been using my front garden beds as a litter box, so I'm definitely going to have to cover everything over with netting to keep the cats and the squirrels off it. But that's what we got so far. Bye!